I should have never posted the video. I should have put the cameras down.
A YouTube star who lives in Southern California is apologizing tonight after setting off a social media firestorm.
And Logan Paul posted a video of a suicide victim and his own reaction to it, which included smiles and laughter.
He starts laughing and his friend starts laughing when they see a dead body hanging in the suicide forest. I watch Black Boys. We become so disconnected from each other because of technology with our insistence to video things that you aren't responding in real time. And I think this is a perfect example of what happened.
I should have never posted the video. I should have put the cameras down.
Paul has more than 15 million YouTube followers, and Forbes ranked him 4th on its list of highest paid YouTube stars, saying he made $12.5 million in a year. But there's worry the competition for clicks in this social media marketplace can encourage bad behavior that's seen by millions of kids.
You know, technology is really just a reflection of our own messed up psychologies. And the technology itself is benign. It doesn't have feelings. It just does what we asked it to do. And unfortunately, it highlights the crazy dynamics and psychology of our family lives.
And with more than 15 million followers, most of them millennials and younger, YouTube star Logan Paul is known for making daily video blogs that detail his life.
Let's jump out of a plane and hopefully not die.
Clips that are often funny and high energy. Actor Aaron Paul, no relation, tweeted, "How dare you? You disgust me. I can't believe that so many young people look up to you."
People look up to you. So sad. Hopefully this latest video woke them up.
I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm just here to apologize.
In a departure from his typical videos designed to entertain and make viewers laugh,
Rainbow Man, bang!
Logan Paul's latest post offers a somber apology.
For my fans who are defending my actions, please don't. They do not deserve to be defended.
Paul is facing a strong backlash for a video of him and friends walking through a Japanese forest.
Have we become a nation that is so insensitive that it would never occur to us that maybe showing a dead body hanging from a tree might not be the best way to discuss suicide prevention when you're snickering when you begin to talk about it?
I think people are looking for the clicks and the links. And how do we get people to, how do we get the eyes?
Looking around.
Am I finally now going to be happy?
I want to say something that you wrote here. It's on the jacket. Your circumstances do not define you. Your identity does. And many thought football defined you. That was your identity. But it has not been. And how did you prevent that from happening?
Well, I think it's really understanding what matters, what's important in your life, and having something bigger than just what you do. And when you have an identity that's bigger than what you do, even when that fails or you crumble or someone says you're not good enough or you can't or you won't or you shouldn't, you can still prevail over that because your life is bigger than that.
You know, in such a cynical, sarcastic society, oftentimes looking for the negative on anybody or anything. If you're fortunate enough to spend 5 minutes or 20 minutes around Tim Tebow, your life is better for it.
I just went out there and we were blessed to win the national championship, and 2 days afterwards, I was eating dinner, actually eating grouper at Ballyhoo Restaurant in Gainesville, Florida with my mom, my dad, my aunt, and Coach Meyer. And Coach Meyer gets a call and he's like, all right, bye. So intense. And I was like, Coach, what's that all about? He said, that's Steve McClain, who's our PR guy at Florida. I said, well, what do you have to say? He said, Tim, he just told me that during the game, 94 million people Googled John 3:16. That game just happened to be January 8th of 2009. Well, exactly 3 years later, January 8th, 2012, exactly 3 years later to the night that I put John 3:16 under my eyes, I was playing quarterback for the Denver Broncos in the first round of the playoffs versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I didn't think of John 3:16 one time going into that game at all. I didn't even know it was 3 years from the night that I wore it. Just went out there and tried to win a silly football game, and we were blessed to win this crazy game in overtime.
Then came the miracles, a string of improbable late-game victories. But after Tebow engineered yet another impossible last-minute win with this 80-yard overtime pass.
Afterwards, I go into the locker room, I change really fast, I'm getting ready to walk into the press conference because I love talking to the media. And so I'm getting ready to walk in this press conference and walk through this curtain, and right as I'm going to walk through, our PR guy, Patrick, jumps in front of me. He's like, Timmy, do you realize what happened? And I was like, yeah, we just beat the Steelers. We're going to play the Patriots. Like, let me do this. And he's like, no, Timmy, you don't realize what happened. And I could tell he's being serious, so I was like, Patrick, what's up, man? He says, Timmy, it's 3 years from the night that you wore John 3:16 under your eyes. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. He's like, no, you don't realize what happened. And I was like, well, what happened? He said, Timmy, during the game, you threw for 316 yards. And your yards per rush were 3.16. And your yards per completion were 31.6. And the time of possession was 31.6. And the ratings for the night were 31.6.
Which leads us to the number that so many people are talking about this morning, 316. That's how many yards Tebow passed for in the game, an eerie echo of the numbers he used to paint on his face.
Tebow passed, now look at these numbers. Tebow passed for 316 yards. He averaged 31.6 yards per pass. And guess what CBS's rating for the game peaked at? You guessed it, 31.6. All those 316s had the fans searching the internet, and that's where they found the famous Bible verse. Tim Tebow sometimes painted John 3:16 on his eye black when he was in college at the University of Florida, and that's a practice, by the way, the NCAA has since banned.
And during the game, 90 million people Googled John 3:16, and so many people were on social media talking about it that it actually shut down Twitter for a little while because it was getting overloaded.
And when Denver quarterback Tim Tebow threw this touchdown pass on Sunday, he entered the record books, not just for football, but because it prompted more than 9,400 tweets per second, a Twitter record for a sporting event.
You know, it's crazy. Tebow is actually more popular than Tom Brady. And it makes absolutely no sense because Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Still, in just 3 months, Tebow's popularity has skyrocketed.
So you're one of the biggest names in sports right now. How do you stay so humble?
I'm disappointed in myself, and I promise to be better.
I think humility is something that is really hard, but I think humility comes not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less, meaning try to look for the people around you and what they need and how you can help them and how you can make an impact in their life, because I think the greatest form of love is choosing the best interest of another person and acting on their behalf. And for me, it's to be able to have a foundation of something bigger in yourself, understand what God says about you, that you are important, that you have a life of significance and you have a life of meaning. And when you understand your purpose, that'll totally change your identity.
And I was just standing in this hallway getting ready to go talk to the media, and I was just so humbled, and my first thought was, dang, I thought tonight was about a game. I thought it was about winning or losing. I thought it was about going to the next round of the playoffs. But the God that we serve is just so much bigger than that. And He can take the games that we're involved in, the jobs that we have, the things that we're doing, and He can transcend them to be so much more than that. And I remember standing in that hallway thinking, wow, the God that I love, the God that we serve is so much bigger than I even thought or imagined. And how He can take the little things that we do when we step out in faith, when we step out with courage.
To go out in the world and just devote your life to Him and start declaring truth over this world. That's all we need.
All those 316s had the fans searching the internet, and that's where they found the famous Bible verse where Jesus said, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, so that whoever believes in Him will not perish, but have everlasting life."
While we do not look at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal.